Good morning, ladies and gentlemen in Junior High 2. You are welcome to another edition of the e-learning segment. I am still your facilitator, Mr. KWAKYE Edward. Today, our lesson is going to be centered on work, money, time, and leisure. Work, money, time, and leisure. And in taking the first subheading out of this lot, we are going to talk about work today. And by introduction, you and I will agree that in order for one to be prosperous and then successful in life, he or she must undertake what we call work. And at the end of this lesson, I expect each learner to be able to explain what work is. That is, every pupil or learner should be able to define work. Secondly, he or she should be able to mention the various types of work we have. In addition, one should always also be able to develop the spirit of hard work. And lastly, I also expect that one will appreciate and build the spirit of hard work. So, in simple terms, we will say work is defined as our effort to do something for a purpose rather than an amusement. We must work in order to make a living or earn a living rather than to work to enjoy or have fun. And that is what we call amusement. For example, some works that one can undertake includes reading, sweeping, teaching, cleaning up exercises, and so on and so forth. Work is very important, and every human being must work to enjoy life. As I first said in my objectives, I said in order to enjoy life, in order to be successful, you must undertake what we call work. Success and prosperity comes as a result of hard work. In this case, one can also define work as something we do to earn a living. That is, earning a living means working to get paid in order to have something we call money, which forms part of our broader topic in order to make a successful life. There are different types of work. There are various types of work that one can undertake, and some of the various types or different types of works that we have include: 1. Domestic or housework. Domestic or housework. And how do we explain domestic or housework? In this case, I only list them and then continue with it. We will explain it in a broader sense. So the first type of work one can talk of is domestic or housework. Secondly, you can also talk about academic work. Academic work is also called school work. And then 3 is community work. One can also call community work as a communal work. 4, we have one we call a church or a religious work. Church or religious work. We are adding religious in the sense that there are 3 main types of religion in Ghana. And when you take church, you're only referring to the Christian religion. But you and I will agree we have the Islamic and the traditional religions. And they also undertake work in their various religious groups. The 5th one that I'll add is one we call social or occupational work. This is basically the various types of work we have. In explaining these types of work, for the first one I talked of, or I made mention, I said the first work or the first type of work we have is something we call domestic or housework. One will ask, what is housework? There are various duties we perform in our homes, and these duties that we perform are assigned to us by our various parents in the home. All these tasks that we perform at home is what we call house or domestic work. So we define it as they are duties assigned to children by their parents to do at home. There are various duties we perform, and the various tasks are assigned to us by our parents that we do. Some of the duties performed by children at home include sweeping the compound. You agree with me that when you wake up in the morning, you are supposed to pick a broom and then sweep the compound in which you find yourself. Washing of utensils. We mostly take supper. We always take supper. Let me put it that way. We take supper, and as such, the utensils that were used in preparing the supper and then the bowls we ate from must be washed the next morning. And that is what we call washing of utensils and then other bowls. Sweeping the room we sleep in. When we wake up in the morning, the first thing we must do is to sweep our rooms. And as children, we must make this part and parcel of us so that we always keep our rooms very clean and tidy. Washing clothes. We wash our various clothes when they are dirty. The dresses we put on to school, the dresses we put on to church, and then other occasions. They must always and also be washed. Weeding the compound when they are found weedy, and then running errands, etc. There are a lot of tasks performed by ourselves as children in the various homes, and all these can be put together to be called a domestic or house work. The second type of work that I would like us to talk about is the academic or schoolwork. Academic or schoolwork. We as students and pupils in schools, there are various tasks we perform, and this is what we call academic or schoolwork. And it also includes doing homework or project work. When you close from school or when you go to school, our teachers, our facilitators gives us exercises to be done at home. This can also be called work, and once it is given to us in the school to assess us, we call it academic or schoolwork. Doing class work and tests. After every lesson, we are assessed by our teachers in order for them to know whether what was taught has been understood or not. So in this case, we are assessed by giving us a lot of tasks to perform for them to be rest assured that we have really understood what we have taught. Taking part in terminal examinations. Yes, this is very, very crucial and important. When school reopens from day one, teachers put together all that has been taught at the end of the term in an examination form in order to test our abilities and then also to test our memories to know whether what was taught from day one to the end of the term was also really understood. So in this case, questions are set for us and then we sit to write the exams. When you go to school, you agree with me that we shift our classrooms and then other plots that has been demarcated to us. So we keep these plots and then these classrooms very clean by sweeping them. We also have to arrange our tables and chairs in the classroom. We arrange them in order so that our classrooms become very neat and clean. We also take part in sporting activities and other games, and all these put together can be referred to as work that takes place in our various schools. So we call this as the third one I would like to add and then hold on or to end the lesson is on community work as the third type of work. In my introduction, I said community work can also be called communal work. And it is a voluntary exercise often undertaken in the community to tidy up the environment. For example, desilting gutters, sweeping around health institutions, weeding the environment, taking part in immunization exercises, and so on and so forth. So all this I have spoken about can be put together to form work. This is where we draw the curtain down on today's lesson. We will continue with the rest of the types of work in our next lesson. Thank you very much for cooperating with me. Thank you very much.